Speedrunning has soared to the skies during the last decade and its popularity has exploded, either if we talk about players themselves trying to beat games lightning fast, or viewers discovering this wonderful community of insane people doing the craziest stunts one can pull in this media. So today I wanted to talk to you about what my personal list of coolest tricks would look like, why they are the most insane stuff to pull off, and why they are so cool. I'm not kidding, we will see time manipulation, tricks that look like someone has activated no-clip, crazy item interactions, and much more. So buckle up, grab a snack, light your aromatic candles, and let's get into the coolest tricks in the speedrunning world. This one is actually in my repertoire, as back in the day I used to speedrun this game. Super Mario Odyssey Daytime Saving Skip, or DSTA, is an iconic trick that marks your progress from beginner speedrunner to an intermediate one. But let's recap for a sec. In Mario Odyssey, you need to gather a certain number of moons per kingdom to keep advancing, and in the Sand Kingdom particularly, there are 3 pots in which you can put some seeds scattered throughout the kingdom, and after waiting for 20 minutes once you put them in the pots, the plants will grow, rewarding you with a moon. All that sounds fun and good, but why would speedrunners choose to wait 20 minutes for a moon? Well, the thing is, they don't. You see, before the Mario Odyssey speedrun even begins, speedrunners set their Nintendo Switch on a date that has a daylight saving time, like, for example, 30 March 2025. And they set it just some minutes before the daylight saving happens, just so they can plant the seed, enter a separate area to collect another moon, and in that moment, the daylight savings hit and the console's time leaps forward an hour, making the seed grow instantly so they can grab the moon on their way back. I love this trick because it uses daylight saving time, which I find so interesting and out of the box thinking. And it is also a demanding trick, because it requires you to perform the early game fast enough so you can plant the seed before the console leaps an hour forward, but not too much fast, as you have to enter the separate area and not lose any time in it, because you have to be there when the daylight savings happens. So overall, it is a precise trick, it is out of the box thinking, and I find it so rewarding to hit. If you have ever watched the Celeste speedrun, you may have noticed that at some points, speedrunners just seem to make Madeline dash through a dust wall or a spike wall, which should kill them instantly. The most famous one is at one room in the Celestial Resort, in which a dust wall of dust bunnies just makes it impossible to go across the room, so you have to navigate your way downwards and do some challenges and then go back up on the other side. But speedrunners seem to just go through the wall. So what is going on? Are they using no clip or cheating? Well, of course no. Of course they aren't. What is actually going on is a combination of obscure secret movements that Madeline can do, hitboxes not being properly designed, and incredible precise timing. First of all these segments in Celeste speedruns have walls with a tiny gap between hitboxes. So theoretically, if you could feel Madeline in there, you shouldn't be hit by the dust bunnies or the spikes, and you would cleanly pass through. However, a regular dash quickly indicates that Madeline is too big to go through, no matter how precise the timing is. So, how do we do it? The answer is the demo dash, baby! The demo dash is a special dash that occurs when trying to dash downwards but letting go of the input right before dashing. This tricks the game into making Madeline dash forward while crouched, reducing their hitbox enough so you can go through these walls. Back in the day, this had to be done in a super tight time frame to work. But fortunately, the Celeste devs actually added a special input for the demo dash so you can perform it with a single button press. This doesn't make the trick easy though, as you have to still perform these demo dashes in extremely precise moments. But hey, isn't it cool to look at? So yeah, just go out there and practice. Skips are cool, but most time saved in speedruns is done in traversal or movement, and it is not a matter of doing dozens of inputs in a row. rather than using the most efficient route and movements your character must do to get there the quickest. I must admit that I began speedrunning Mario Odyssey just because of how cool it looked to move Mario around like that versus the way in which I regularly played the game. None of it compared to Breath of the Wild, though. Wind bombs are both funny and impressive. They can be relatively easy to perform, as they only require to jump forward from an elevated surface, spawn a bomb, and get into bullet time real fast. I love launching Link off and seeing him go at ludicrous speeds through the air, but sadly enough, sometimes there is just too much distance to cover and wind bombs just can't get you where you have to go. And that's when BLSS comes into play. This trick is fairly easy and you look like a player with dementia while trying to do it, so it already checks that mark on my list. To do it, you just need a bomb, a bow with an arrow, and a liftable object. Basically what speedrunners do is jump, and through a quick set of inputs, they manage to both grab a bomb and hold the bow at the same time. Then, quickly navigating through the menu while in the air, they manage to set Link up so, when they walk into uneven terrain, they magically start flying, gaining more speed as you advance, transforming Link from a speedrunner into a wind runner. Wrong warps are a staple of the speedrunning community, and it is not that much of a specific trick in a game rather than a technique that can be done in some of them. I love wrong warps because if you don't have any prior knowledge about what is going on, you'll see a deranged player doing the most random stuff possible until they somehow teleport to another place out of nowhere. I find wrong warps magical because of that, as you trick the viewers and the game itself, going full asylum insane levels of bullshit until it somehow makes sense. It's just determination at its purest. There are a lot of wrong warps throughout speedrunning, but I particularly find funny the ones that you can do in the Souls games and also the ones that you can do in Elden Ring. And finally, we have perhaps the most iconic speedrun trick in the world: backwards long jumps, or BLJs. They are an integral part of the 16-star speedrun in Super Mario 64, which is the most played category in speedrunning in general. It revolves around Mario doing long jumps while moving backwards on stairs, which provokes him to gain exponential speed until he goes so fast that he can go even through walls. This happens because the devs forgot to cap Mario's speed in this particular setup, which I honestly cannot blame them for. There is something beautiful in this trick, watching Mario just flying backwards like a jet through the skies, breaking the sound barrier. It is simply iconic, and also in a perfect balance of being difficult to achieve, but also accessible enough so you can try it for yourself. Well, so that's a lot of cool tricks that speedrunners use that manipulate games in very original ways. Do you know any cool techniques, such as these ones? I bet you do, and I would love to read them in the comments, as the speedrunning community is full of nuance, knowledge, and, above everything else, crazy skill. And now, if you'll excuse me, I'll go speedrun Animal Well for a while. Until we meet again.